Hi guys, this is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle. Today I would like to present to you teach and play material for Berestechko 1651, a game from Snafu Designs, Snafu company, which I already unboxed and presented with all of the materials in my another video. This is the game which depicts one of the largest battles of the 17th century, in which the Polish-Lithuanian part, the red counters, faced the alliance of the Tatars and Zaporozhian Cossacks. This was battle which, depending on the sources, encompassed from 200 to 300,000 troops. What I will do today, I will explain the game details, I will show you some game mechanics, and I will simply play, because this is not a long game, and this is not a large game. This is, by the way, a game with a pretty small footprint too. About the details, the game is played on a small board where each and every hex is numbered, which really helps with the setup and also with understanding which type of terrain we have and where. If there's a circle on the hex, it means this is a difficult terrain, which will have impact on the movement and combat, as you might expect. And if there is no circle, there is open terrain. This is actually slope here, but it doesn't have any impact on the gameplay. From the important part, what kind of components we have? So the map, the counters, the turn track. We have the player aid for the Polish-Lithuanian part, where you have activation markers, reorganization and coordination track. And you have a similar for the so-called Cossack Tatar player, where you have activation markers, similarly reorganization and coordination track, and on top of this, Tatar morale track. Here we have a general player aid, where we have all the counters explained, the terrain explained, the victory conditions explained. Then we have how the melee combat works, how the fire combat works. So, and also the battle sequence and retreats priorities. Everything very nicely prepared. And guys, I am really impressed how beautiful this is and how nicely done. And I'm also glad to see part of my country history being reenacted in this game, and also the game, which and the battle, which is really famous and interesting. Yeah. On top of this, the game is designed by Krzysztof Dydczak, a colleague who did a lot of interesting designs already, and this is cool. What else? The components. Yeah, we should probably talk a little more about the components, about the tokens. So let's have a look here. This is the example component of the cavalry. You see the activation die, this is 4. You see that its resistance, this is 7. You see that it uses 8-sided die, 2 in attack, 1 in defense. This is a full strength unit. This is disorganized unit. We will be also using so-called activation markers, because each unit will be activated only twice per turn, and there will be maximum 2 turns. So this is not activated unit. If we put this activation marker on top, that means it was activated 1, and this means it was activated twice. You can quickly see also its parameters and whether it was activated or not. With 7-4, I believe this is a resistance. Yeah, resistance on the backside of the troop. Yeah. For the Cossack and Tatar counters, you have similar notations. So activation, resistance, what die they use. Actually have die prepared 6-sided, 8-sided, and 10-sided, because Nadvorna, this cavalry unit, will use a 10-sided die. Okay, looking into the rule book, because it really helps me, okay, to explain the rules. During your turn, you will be rolling 3 die, and out of those 3 die, you will be choosing 2. And of course, you will be using those 2 dice for activation or increasing your coordination and reorganization track. As you can see, the coordination or organization moves up on 1 or 6. And here we have a units which have 2, 3, 2, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3 to be activated. An activated unit, if you can activate, you have to activate, you need to put activation, although you might not do anything with this. The unit can move and combat, can not move and simply combat, and can also do nothing. The most interesting part of the game, which makes it very juicy, from my opinion, is actually this reorganization track and coordination track. Because all those moves, attacks, okay, fine, it will be working in a general, straightforward way. But those coordination and reorganization will enhance significantly what we can do. So what we can do quickly, because I will show it, of course, in the actual gameplay. Reorganization allows you to either deorganize or retreat. Normally, if you attack somebody in the open terrain, it's attacker who decides whether you can retreat or maybe disorganize. And in the difficult terrain, it's defender who decides where to retreat or maybe disorganize. This actually prevents, for example, difficult situation when you have your retreat path blocked, and if you would retreat, you would be disorganized or maybe destroyed. Second point, retreat before melee combat. So if you use 2 reorganization points, you can simply retreat from the attack. And 3, very important, you can reorganize disorganized unit. As you can see, the track is up to 3, so spending 3 is a lot. Something which you will be using probably much more often, it will be much more common, is coordination track. It allows you to add extra infantry to fire combat. These are the infantry units. If they are adjacent to 1 unit, you can add additional. Something which you will be using probably most often, add extra units to melee combat. So from 1 to 3, if they are adjacent, you can combine their die and actually try to crush the enemy. You can add artillery to combat if infantry attacking counter defending. This is 1 d6, yeah, which I add, and 2. This is of course pretty costly. You can activate 1 unit for movement and combat. This is this additional activation which you can do. One thing which was not fully clear for me in the rule book with additional activation, whether we use this activation as a normal or is it a third activation. I presume that this is simply a normal activation. As for the movement, the units can move cavalry 2 hexes, the infantry 1 hex, which is obvious if there is a difficult terrain. If we move 2 hexes, we cannot attack. If it's open terrain, after the move of 2 hexes, we can attack. The combat has its special mechanics. I will show it on the example. You roll those die, you compare them, the difference in favor of attacker or defender, and then compare it also to the resistance of the particular unit. What would be probably of interest to you is how a victory is being determined. There are 2 turns, so turn 1 and turn 2. In each turn, each of the units can be activated twice. The moment all units on one side were activated twice, then the turn ends. At the end of the game, or there could be also an automatic victory if you killed 4 units of your enemy. But if you have not, at the end of the game, you will be getting the points which you have very nicely stipulated here. Each eliminated enemy unit would be 2 points. Each disorganized enemy unit would be 1 point. Each tabor destroyed, this is on for Polish side, would be 2 points. Here are the tabors. They double the resistance of the units. It's really hard to move them, but yeah, they are very good in defensive fight. Each Cossack or Tatar unit on hex 0304, this is 2 points for the Cossack Tatar. This is simply the camp, Polish camp. So that means they looted this camp. Yeah, they have some nice goodies taken there. Game ends with a Tatar withdrawal. This is 2 points for Polish player. And this is where the Tatar morale track comes into play. If it reaches zero, all green units will retreat from the map. It decreases each time the Tatar unit is disorganized or eliminated. It increases each time Polish unit is eliminated or Tatar unit is reorganized. Last but not least, +1 point if game ends at the end of a turn 2. What does it mean? It means that if a Cossack Tatar player managed to actually withstand the Polish-Lithuanian attack till the end of the game, they achieved better than historical result, and they are getting one additional victory point. Okay, guys, that was a very brief summary of the rules. There will be also some additional which we explain as we go, but I didn't want to spend too much time. I believe one of the best ways to explain the game is simply, playing the game. And as we play, we explain what's going on. So that will be all for the game explanation. Here we have a dice. Here we have a dice thrower. Here we have a map. Player 8. I think we are ready to roll. Okay, guys, I change a bit the setting so it will be easier for me to navigate through the map. We are ready to roll. One disclaimer before I will start do the actual moves. My actions, my moves on the map might not be always optimal from a strategic perspective. This is intentional. I want to show you some of the rules mechanics, some of the details, how the game plays, especially how the infantry interacts with the Tatars. There will be a lot in both melee and fire fight, so please bear this in mind. So how do we play? We take 3 die and we roll. We start with the Polish side. They rolled 1, 1, and 3. They will use for sure one of the ones for coordination. Sorry, of course not here, but here. And the other one they can also use for coordination, which is always very important. You can say resource or a level of engagement side. Here we have 4, 5, 1. So definitely the Tatars will also take one of those. And now we have 4 and 5. Let us say that for example, Amurat will move here, and we have here his activation marker, and we mark him as first activation. Now the Polish side has 1, 3, and 5. Let's see what we can do with 1. We will choose 1, and we will increase the organization. And for 3 and 5, for 3 we can move Lanskoroński here, and we will not be attacking with him. It would not be optimal attack, as you shall see in a moment. However, some other attack will probably be better. Now for the Cossack Tatar 3, 3, 1. If there are 2 threes, that means they need to choose one of the threes. Let them move both guys here. This is that one. With and with 1, let them take this reorganization track because it's really helpful when the time comes now. For the Polish side, what I would like to do with the Polish side, check 2, 5, 3. That means there will be some fight. Now that's inevitable. Let us do it in that way. And I will show you actually two game mechanics. I will use 5 to activate Nadvorna. They will move here. Nadvorna are our hussars, and where they are here, they roll d10. We'll now play the melee combat, so this part. How do we do it? First of all, we check the attacker's die. These are two 10-sided dice. Then we can add extra cavalry or infantry who are adjacent. For coordination, we have Lance Kroński, so we'll use 1 coordination, and we'll add also 2 d8 from him. And now we can add artillery if we would have the infantry taking part. Actually, I get a little bit ahead of myself because I first should declare combat with Nadvorna. Then the defender can decide whether to retreat or not. For the game presentation purposes, to show you how the attack works, I will not retreat. In order to retreat, 2 points from the organization track has to be taken. Normally, probably, if you see Nadvorna attacking and having another Polish cavalry adjacent, you would be very, skeptical of chances of good result. But let's see, there might be some. So they stay. So we declare coordination. We declare those two, and we'll be rolling. We'll check first attack value. Attack value will be the result of those 4 die rolled. So the attack value is not 0, is, I believe, 10 in this case. Let me just double check in the rule book. This is d10. Yeah, so this is 10. So this is a good roll. So this is 10, this is 12, 17, 18. 18 in total. And now the Cossacks will roll in defense 2 die. Let me use those 2. Remember, we used 5. We have still 3 and 2, but I will be using 2 here. So let's see how much they roll. They rolled 7. And we have now 2 results. We have 18 here versus 7. We deduct 18 minus 7 is 11, and we looked at the resistance. Resistance is where we have resistance here. The resistance is here. This is 7, and 11 is more than 7, but less than twice. So defender disorganize or retreat. And now who can choose? If it's open terrain, this is the attacker who chooses. If it's difficult terrain, it would be defender. You can see retreat rules, yeah, here. I believe that Polish side would love, of course, those guys to take hits, but there's again the possibility defender choice, disorganizational retreat. So the Tatars can spend 1 of organization points and say, no, I don't want to be hit. I will simply retreat, and I will retreat here. Then Nadvorna has, or Nadvorna or Lance Kroński, it doesn't have to be the unit which was attacking, a mandatory advance, and they are safe for the time being. Now, the second die on the Polish side will be activation of the Wolf. And here we have him. And I will show you another interesting game mechanic. We will be doing the fire combat. So this one. How does it work? So we fire from here to here. This is not melee, this is fire. Only the attacker will roll, and will roll this number of die, but we can coordinate artillery, and this we will do. So that means that we will have 2 6-sided die from the Wolf and 1 for artillery. we don't have at all the die for the defender. We simply will look at resistance, and the resistance here is 8. So this is a really good troop. Now, a special rule for the Tatars, which we have stipulated here. Let me see. We should have here about Tatars and infantry in melee. We should have also. Okay. I don't see it immediately, but the rule is the rule is following. Tatar units retreat 1 additional hex, and fire combat can be done only by the infantry. So if you fire them, they will retreat 1 additional hex. Fire combat. We rolled 9, and 9 is bigger than the 8. Barely, but it is bigger. Defender in good order is disorganized. You cannot kill a unit with a fire combat. And because this is fire combat, they also have to retreat. They are lucky, they have where to go. And because this was fire combat, there is no momentum advance here. Okay, guys, now the Cossack side. What do they have? 5 to 3. Okay, so they also have to move their units and maybe do some attack. They have some coordination to do it. So let us use 2 to move 1, 2, and there will be an attack over here. First of all, the question is whether we would like to retreat. We can. We can't. We don't have to. As a Polish side, we can't retreat. So there will be an attack. There will be coordination from the Cossack side, of course. And they will use those guys. So in total, they will roll 6 3-sided dice. We need to remember to have still 5 and 3. So I believe I will use those guys here to come closer. You can do it even immediately. Told you this is not necessarily the best tactical move, but we want to show you the game mechanics. So 6 dice in the attack, and here we have only 1 d8 in defense. So how much do we have here? 12. Oh my goodness, a lot, and this is 22. So we need a really good roll from the Polish side not to be crushed. 22 to 8. This is a good roll. This is actually a good roll. 22 to 8. It's you deduct 22 minus 8 is 14. This will not be enough anyhow. 22 minus 8 is 14, but it's still double the resistance. So there's a mandatory disorganization and retreat, and there is of course a mandatory attack, a mandatory momentum advance. Let them to advance here. Okay, guys, that's an interesting situation we have here. The Tatars are very strong against cavalry, but they are very weak against infantry, as you should see. Polish side has 4, 6, and 1. Why not get some more coordination? Let's take 2. Cossack. I have 4, 5, and 1. It's pity that didn't have any double. I would show you also some interesting mechanisms in this. I believe they want to take 1 coordination from here, and maybe only we have 4 and 5. Let me move those closer, not necessarily immediately attack. Maybe we would like to have some coordination before attack. Polish side now. They have 1, 3, and 4. This is good. What they will do, they will take 1 as a coordination. Then they will have 4, and they will move the 2nd infantry. The 2nd infantry will be here we mark activation, and there will be an attack. They will attack from here to here, and I believe this will be a fire attack. Fire attack with those two guys, so the coordination, and there is no possibility to escape the fire attack. This will be 4 6-sided die, and we need to roll more than 6 in order to have those guys disorganized. We rolled already 8, 12, so we managed to hit them. They are not Tatars, they don't have to mandatory retreat, but we just disorganized them. Now, the Tatars. Now to be the Tatars. I'm still waiting for one of the. I would like to show you the retreats with the blocked retreat path. I will create such situation, and also how the tabors are moving. So now let's roll for them. Cossacks 5, 2, and 3. Let me show you. No, I cannot show you. We have not enough coordination to show you the tabor movement. But maybe let us show how the artillery works. Let's order 3 and 5. So those two guys. This would be the second activation for both of them. They will have it like this. And now they will attack. They would like to attack here, our infantry. So this will be like 2 6-sided die, and here, even after this organization, these are 2. So 4 6-sided die. Now, what we would like to do, we would like to defend here, but we cannot retreat. There's no way to retreat because we have not enough organization, but we can call for artillery. So we will defend not with 1, but with 2 6-sided die. So these are 4 to 2. Let's see how it goes. And by the way, we use coordination. I'm not sure if I moved it or not. I don't believe it was at 3. We use it for coordination. So this is 7, 9. So this is 9, and this is 9 in the attack, and now we roll 2 die for the defender. This is 8, so barely by 1. And again, the attacker may say now, okay, you're in open terrain, you will break, but we say no. We, as a defender, do the choice, retreat or disorganize, and we would like, of course, to retreat. And we would like to welcome one of the units here. So let it be this unit. Yeah. It doesn't really matter which one. They almost prevail. Now, Polish side, they roll 2, 3, 5. So again, it will be some fighting. And I believe this is now a good moment to show you how the coordination works. Okay, I show you a trick. Let's use 5. There was a 5 here. To move those guys here and to cut the retreat. Who is this? Wiśniewiecki. Wiśniewiecki moves here. And yeah, this is it. And now let's activate Wolf for a fire attack. Or maybe regular attack. Just thinking, guys. Just thinking about some crazy stuff to do. How to cut the retreat path, and for this unit, simply to. Okay, this would be fine. This should be completely fine. We move those guys here. They potentially can attack here because you see there is only 4 as a defense. So let's do it. Let's do it that way. We move those guys We attack here with coordination. We'll coordinate those. Can they retreat? They potentially can retreat, and I believe they will retreat. Okay. Before melee combat. So if they retreat before melee combat, let us check if we can momentum advance first, because that would be really, really important. This is one of the situations which I actually didn't check. Okay. Okay. Retreat before melee. The attacker must advance. Good. So if attacker must advance, we will advance here. And now, with the second die, with that die, we will activate Wolf. This will be second activation of Wolf, of course. And with the second activation, okay, we use coordination here. Now there is no chance for those guys to retreat, even if we would have 2 reorganization points. It's not possible. We use another coordination, and they will together attack here versus Hrunke. How this attack will look like? He will roll 2 6-sided die. Wiśniewiecki will roll 2 8-sided die. And the defender, Hrunke, will roll 1 6-sided die. So there is a high chance of really strong losses on this side. So let's see how it goes. One comment, the Cossack cavalry doesn't have those negative modifiers which Tatars has. So maybe it's not the wisest way to actually attack immediately here. But you know, this is for the presentation of the game mechanics. So let's roll for the Polish side first. Okay, they rolled 2 5 7 13. Let's see what is rolled by the Cossacks. 13 4, so this is 9. 9 is the difference. 9 is bigger than 6, and that means that defender disorganized or retreat. Now, the defender could potentially retreat, and if the retreat is cut, he gets disorganization, moves here or here. We, as an attacker in the open terrain, don't want this to happen, so we prefer them simply to stay here and take a hit. They don't have reorganization, so they cannot prevent it. I wanted, guys, to show you this result, because if this result would be rolled, they would get disorganization first, and then they would have to retreat. And because they don't have a space to retreat to the back, to their retreat, let's say line, they would need to move sideways, and if they move sideways, they disorganize. But if you disorganize an already disorganized unit, they would die. Now, time for Tatars. I believe they would like to organize some units, especially because those two cannot do anything more this time. They rolled 1 2, so definitely 1 goes here, and 5 and 2. What 5 can do? And what 2 can do? I think we'll be attacking further with those guys. We are pretty decent, and let me attack Nadvorna, but move first here. It's on purpose. It's on purpose. So they attack from here to here. No coordination. They have 3 6-sided die. Okay, we have 1, 5, 2, so 1 taken. So it's already second die from here. They attack with 3 6-sided die, and then Advorna will defend with 1 10-sided die. Let's see what we shall get. This is 10. This is 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 is less than 6. That means that we have this effect. So the combat total, so attack value minus defense value, is smaller than the resistance of the defender. What means attacker disorganized. And guys, I believe I forgot about one thing. You see, we disorganized Tatar here, so the morale should drop. Good, I got it. And here we also disorganized a Tatar, so morale should drop. I believe we didn't disorganize Vox, guys, no. That's a painful thing. And I think this is our second activation. I told you this is not necessarily most strategically wise, but I want to show you the game mechanics, and that's the reason why we do sometimes such interesting attacks. Okay, that's a crazy roll. So Polish side will take 2 coordination. Now, this is for the Cossacks. I believe they would like to go here twice, and because they went here twice, they can immediately reorganize 1 unit. Let it be those Tatars, and because he organized, the morale goes up. Beautiful. Now I need to activate those guys. I want to show you something. Yes, I managed to do it. So what we shall do, and that will be again a very painful experience. So 6 we use to take coordination, and 4 we use to activate those guys. And now a lot of things will probably happen, so please pay attention. First die which we taken is 6 to increase coordination, second is 4 to move those guys here. Now I'm ordering a fire attack from here to here. I will call for coordinated attack with those guys. So we'll have 4 6-sided die. Those guys, their resistance is 6, high, fine. However, I hope I can crash through it. So this is 3, 4, 6, and 1 die more. So I rolled 8. 8. If our roll is higher than resistance, defender in good order is disorganized. Yes, yes it is. Now we drop the morale, and now we read the rules. Tatar units retreat 1 additional hex. This unit cannot retreat backwards, so to their line, friendly board side, so they need to retreat sideways. If they count here, they need to go here, but if they retreat sideways, they are getting a hit and they are eliminated. They goes here to the victory point for the Polish side. They come back here, but what is even more important, the morale drops to 0. And if morale drops to 0, all Tatars retreat from the map. The funny thing is that even if they retreat, they are not dead. So if we roll a die which matches 3, 4, 5, and we don't have 3, 4, 5 here, we will need to put the die here, because yeah, it's like, you know, mood activation which they are using. Also, they are disorganized and they will be counting versus victory points. This was a fire attack, so we don't move. We roll now for the Cossack. They rolled 2, 3, 4. That's not good because you see what will happen now. We don't want, if in order to move tabor, we either roll doubles 4 and 4, or we roll 4 and use 2 coordination for extra activation to move with tabor. And we don't want to leave the tabor alone. So we simply mark them as activated. And actually we'll not do it that way. We'll do it slightly differently. We'll use the die number 2 for this activation. And die number 4 we'll put here. I believe we can do it, or even to be fully with a rules, 2 will go here, 3 will go here. There is no option to use 3 over here. I don't want simply to move both yet. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Remember, the game ends if you killed 4 units of one side. These are not killed. 6, 1, 1. Another crazy roll by Polish side, so they will increase those 2 and will not do anything more. 6, that's what I wanted. The Cossacks increase here, and 3 and 5. 5 we can put here and do a mood activation. I believe this is correct. We don't have any 5 here to activate. Now Polish side, maybe they will do something. They have 1, 2, and 3. These are not the most strong, but they can try to attack with some help. Those guys, they have 3 resistance, so not much. Let me do it that way. We move here. Horongiev, but you know they are poor only once. 1 die. Do we have anything better? Anything? No. We don't. Okay, let me move them here. This is die number 3. They activated for the first time. They do the coordination with those guys, so they will roll 3 8-sided die. And the defender will roll 1 6-sided die. There is no way to retreat. The retreat is cut. So this is 6, this is 3, 9, 14. 14 to 2 is 12. 12 is many times, 3, so they are eliminated. Okay. Runka comes here, his activation marker. And for this, this was the first die, and let me move whom we would like to move here. Because we need to be careful not to be hit later on. Let me move Wisniewicki here. And now, important element, second die, because this was first die, Chemiańska attacking. Second die will give us the coordination back. So it was a pretty powerful attack. We cut the retreat, and thanks to this, we managed to hit and to hit hard. Now, the Cossacks are rolling. They rolled 1, 3, and 4. 1, 3, and 4. Wait. One thing which I'm not quite sure, but doesn't matter. If I have option of 4 and 4 here, can I choose this one or this one? I will double check it later on. For now, I used 3. There is no 3 on the map, and 1 here. Polish side rolled 1 and 6 and 5. I believe those guys are broken already, yes. By the way, when the Tatars were retreating, the Cossack player had an option to end the game and see the result. We didn't do it, but yeah, there was such an option. Okay, this is not a bad roll. Nadvorna will come here for the second activation. This would be number 5. Those are broken, unfortunately. So this is number 5. They will attack together with a coordination. There is no way for those guys to escape. So we roll 2 10-sided die and 2 6-sided die. And now I forget what I rolled as a second roll. I believe we rolled 1 on 6, so we can use 10, 11, 10 and 1, 11, 12, 16. And now the defender. 16 to 1 was inevitably death of those units. And now let me post those here, sorry for moving this. And the other one was, of course, this battle is not going particularly well for them. For the Cossacks. Historically, it was a little bit better, but well, it happens, unfortunately. Now the Cossacks, maybe they would like simply to finish the turn, which could save them some problems. They rolled 2, 3, 5. Let me mark this as already activated, and 1 and 3 goes here. Polish side, almost everybody will be activated. 2 1s. You see, third roll like this, which prevents Polish side from doing anything. Now the Cossacks, 2, 3 and 4, they will activate those guys. How do we do it? We do it here, and they will put on one of those the second activation. Now, probably last Polish side. Again, 6, 1, 1. They cannot do anything. What they can do, they can activate 1 unit for movement and combat. We can do this. So we can move those guys here. This is Wiśniowiecki. This uses 2. And now we take 2 of those. Because remember, these are not the actions, these are additional, let's say, activations, actions you can do. Now probably the last roll for the Cossacks. No, 2 6s. They are very happy. They will take coordination, or maybe both. Polish side. 5, 3, 1. 3 will be here. 1 we cannot use. 3. Can we use 3 somewhere? Yes, we can use 3 over here, Lanskroński. And actually, we can use 3 of those reorganization to flip Lanskroński. Now, the Cossack Tatar, again. 2, 6, and 5. They increase here. For 6, 2, and 5 are moot. We cannot use them anywhere. Polish side, 2 6s. Unbelievable. And 4. Let me move those guys here. And let's use 6 here. Because I would love to roll 4 and finish it once for all. They have 2 6s, so what they can do, they can use 2 coordination to activate 1 unit for movement. Then they can use 2 6s to get them back, and the turn finishes now. And the turn finishes when one side has all units activated, and in this case, the Cossacks have all the units activated. Now, the good question is, should we continue this fight? At this point in time, pretty uneven already. I believe we should stop here. I wanted to present to you guys the game mechanics and how does it play. Hopefully that was informative material. If you would like to count the victory points at this point in time, I believe it will be crushing victory for Polish-Lithuanian side. Limited units 2 points, so this is 6 for Poland. Disorganized units 7 points for Poland. I don't think there's any disorganized unit here. No, I don't believe so. 7 points. Tabor destroyed. None of them. Each Cossack or Tatar unit on the hex 0303. None of them. Game ends with Tatar withdrawal. Yes. So it was 6. Sorry, 7, 9. Game ends at the end of turn 1, 2. I don't believe they would survive till end of the turn 2. Even with the Tabor doubling the resistance, they will most probably be dead long before. So guys, this was Berestechko 1651, a game from Snafu company by Krzysztof Dyczek. Hope that it was a good presentation which shows you a lot of information and simply game flow and feel for the game. Definitely I will be playing more. I really like this game. Really like how replayable it is. The dice throwing element is by no means bringing a lot of randomness. It actually allows you to do some of the stuff while it prevents you from doing a lot of other things. I really like this reorganization coordination tracks. They change a lot. And the specifics of infantry combat versus Tatars. Tatars are incredibly tough against cavalry, but very weak against the infantry. We haven't shown this, but even in the melee combat against infantry in defense or attack, they will only use one die. So this is also important to know. That's all for today. If you like this video, kindly please thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, don't hesitate to subscribe. Also, please use comment section for any opinions, for any points, for whatever you would like to show. Thank you for today, and thank you very much for watching.